Imagine an Earth colony of nearly 1 million souls, right in the path of a scourge of mass insanity that's been sweeping the sector. And you learn the reason is an infestation of deadly parasites. Fortunately for the galaxy, a way to kill the parasites is discovered, and the scourge is lifted. Bravo Zulu Enterprise. And now that the plague is past, let's travel to the beautiful planet of Deneva on PCZ TV.
PCZ TV.
Today's episode, Travel to Deneva. Star Trek didn't often film outside the Paramount studios. After all, it's hard to find alien worlds just down the road on location. But in February of 1967, they did just that. The crew went down to TRW Space Park, which is now part of the Northrop Grumman family. And after watching this video, you will instantly be able to recognize this location and scene. Meanwhile, look at the size of the lights and the cameras back then. And on the topic of cameras, as it relates to the now images, be advised I'm no expert in 1960s film cameras. I didn't know the lens types they were shooting with, so what follows are the approximate angles used in the shoot. So let's take a trip to Deneva today, shall we? Starting off, where the heck is this space park of which you speak? Why, it's located right here in the South Bay. And here's a Google satellite view of the space park showing all the buildings and streets. Warning disclaimer. Speaking of access, be aware that the roads and sidewalks are open to the public, but the buildings and their grounds are private property. There are restrictions, and you should respect and obey the relevant laws and the posted signs. To be honest, I went down to a ham radio event quite a few years ago and ended up taking these photos. So to help navigate our way, I've annotated this map, and it will reference the first group of shooting locations. Location 1, beaming down. Note that the pool has since been filled in with shrubs. I guess it's a water-saving issue. California, we are in a drought. Location 2. So our landing party actually walked from the pool art area. So this camera was located on the roof of a building, ironically named R2, shooting downward. They wouldn't let me on the roof.
Security authorization required.
So I've approximated the angle from the ground level. Location 3 is further walking along. The E1 building's architecture has since been altered to add these lovely green fences. I don't know if it's a high-tech form of security or not, but this is the last of the shots in that particular plaza. The location now shifts over to the cafeteria area. Location 4, they're looking for Kirk's brother's lab. So this is on the sidewalk looking at the cafeteria, which is annotated as Building S. Location 5, which is my brother's lab, is actually located at UCLA in Schoenberg Hall, which is their music hall. No crew were actually seen in this shot, and as such I decided not to head up to UCLA just for this location. Now the next whole section is shot with different angles which are down in front of the cafeteria. So I've actually created this map which shows where each of the new camera setups were. Location 6. Our team is still exploring the planet. Now, this is down right in front of the cafeteria. Trees have grown a bit and are hiding the R3 building, but you can see the location. Location 7. The locals come to attack. Well, this is shot from underneath the bridge in the cafeteria. Location 8, phasers unstun. This is the angle, but the building in the background isn't there. It's a parking lot in 2014. Location 9, Dr. McCoy checks the locals out.
He's dead, Jim.
Nah, just kidding. You're fine. Location 10. Reacting to a scream. This is the easternmost set of doors. Well, they can't get in because, well, you have to be a Northrop employee to enter the cafeteria.
You are not authorized to access this facility.
Location 11. In the story, Kirk beams back to the ship, where his sister-in-law dies, but he then returns planetside here. Location 12. Kirk reuniting with the landing party. Location 13. In the plot, after Spock is infected by the alien, he beams down alone to collect a sample. The camera position shifts to the easternmost side of the building. Location 14. Watch out, he's got a spanner. Our camera was a bit off position in the shot, but by this time I had just noticed the no photography signs on the building. They probably get too many Star Trek nerds like myself, so from this point on I moved pretty quick to grab shots and didn't try to perfect the angles.
Intruder alert on deck 8.
Location 15. Oh, the pain. I guess it sounded more like Dr. Smith, didn't it? Sorry. So this mosaic is actually on the outside of the cafeteria. It's still there to this day. I'd like to tell you that I spent hours matching the tile up, but as I said, I had noticed at this point that there were signs posted advising that photography is not permitted, which is sort of awkward. So my apologies to Northrop Grumman, but thank you. Final location, shot 16, another shot of the stairs. And so we end on a then and now with a beady shot of the space part. Well, not from the rooftop location it was shot from, but roughly replicated, albeit without the futuristic space art. On a side note, I was invited by some engineering friends to observe the assembly of the James Webb Space Telescope in this facility. No photos allowed. Fantastic experience to see it up close and personal before it was launched into space. And okay, there you go. This is just a short video and a short tour of Deneva. Didn't get to see much of the planet, but those are the breaks when you're on shore leave. But how fun to walk in the steps of Kirk, Spock, and McCoy. Just absolutely fantastic. If you've been watching this far, I thank you.
Bye.
Transfer complete.